Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll be starting off in a child's pose position. Bring your torso down towards your legs, extend your arms long in front of you, and bring your forehead down onto the mat. Once you come into your position, start to find nice full breaths into your child's pose. With every inhale, fill the space in your upper back between your shoulder blades. And with every exhale, allow your hips to sink a little heavier towards your heels. From this child's pose, crawl your fingertips over towards the right side of your mat. Keep your left hip glued down towards your left heel for a nice side stretch. Really pull away from your left fingertips. Breathe into the left side of your body. And now switch. Bring your fingertips over towards the left side of your mat. Try to keep your right hip glued to your right heel. Feel this nice length that you're creating all along the right side of your torso. And now slowly bring yourself back to center. From here, bring your palms together in a prayer position. Bend your elbows and pull your thumbs towards the back of your neck. We're coming into a deeper tricep and chest opener. If you want to feel this a little more, walk your elbows away from your knees. Send your armpits towards your knees. Breathe into this opening in this space that you're creating. Find full big breaths in and out. And then slowly release, straighten your arms and bring yourself up to an all fours tabletop position. We'll move into a few sets of cat and cow here. So on your inhale, drop your belly, arch through your spine to look up. And on your exhale, find your cat spine, contract through your back, dome through your upper back especially. And then in each position, when you feel like you've reached your full range of motion, try to go just a little bit deeper with breath. In your cat spine, really pull your chin down towards your chest, find this deep contraction. Continue to move with breath. Give yourself one more set. And then step your legs back, come into a high plank position. From your high plank, option to lower your knees or option to just lower your body all the way down towards your belly. Tent your fingertips outside of your mat and then press yourself up into this cobra position. Now dip your right shoulder down towards the ground. Bring yourself back up and then switch. Dip your left shoulder towards the ground. And then just keep this going. We move from side to side. So this is an excellent way to warm up through your spine and to find a little more opening and range of motion through the chest and the shoulder. Allow your head and your neck to be part of this movement so we find a little more fluidity and opening through the neck. Move with your breath. And give yourself one more time each side, once to the right and once to the left. And then bring yourself through center and release your body all the way down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back, child's pose. Now from child's pose, we're coming into what I call child's pose push-up. So slide your body forward, bend your elbows so they go directly behind you, and then press your hips back to your child's pose and just keep this going with breath. So we start to find a little more activation through the upper body, through the core especially. Really feel your elbows hugging in towards your ribs. When you slide yourself forward, think of yourself in one long plank from your shoulders to your knees. Keep this going with breath. And now take this one or two more times. And then bring yourself back to child's pose. From child's pose, transition to all fours and meet in a downward facing dog. In your first downward facing dog, you could take a little bit of movement if you'd like to paddle through your feet, maybe find a little movement through your head or your elbows. And then we'll find a neutral shape, so try to energize your heels towards the ground. Now we're coming into 5 down dog push-ups. bend your elbows out to the side and think that the crown of your head just gets closer down towards the mat. This is really challenging. We're only taking 5 of them. Do as many as you can and then come back into our downward facing dog posture. Walk your feet towards your fingers, ragdoll pose. Bend your knees a lot here. Let the crown of your head drop down towards the ground. We're finding a twist. Bring your right hand between your feet and reach your left arm up. Now, if you need your bottom right hand on a booster or a block, you can find that for yourself. Option to keep your left fingertips up towards the ceiling, or maybe you find a half wrap around your torso. Release, and we take this the opposite direction. So first, just reach your right fingertips straight up, and then option, if you'd like to bring that right hand behind your torso. You can peel your heart, your shoulder up towards the ceiling. Breathe into this space. And then slowly release back to forward fold. Soften your knees and slowly roll yourself up to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders, chin, and gaze are the last things to arrive. Once you get there, maybe take a moment to roll out through your shoulders, maybe move your head and your neck around. We're going to start to move into some deeper shoulder mobility and range of motion. Bring your fingers onto your shoulders and start to draw big circles with your elbows. So while you're doing this, you might notice that your rib cage responds and reacts just a little bit. That's okay. We take 5 of these in one direction. And then once you've taken 5 in one direction, take 5 in the opposite direction. And think that each time this circle with the elbows could get even bigger. After you've finished your 5th circle, we're coming into a little bit of a series. Reach your arms to the side, up overhead, and find a side bend so you catch your left wrist. Now tip yourself up and over towards the right, and then keep this moving. Bend your knees, find this nice contraction. Release yourself up and over, find a small back bend, and then bring yourself up and switch. So catch your right wrist, tip yourself up and over towards the left, and then bend your knees and find this nice deep contraction. Roll your body up, lift through the chest. We take this 2 more times each side. Grab the left wrist, tip yourself over, find this contraction as you bend your knees chin to chest. Slowly roll yourself up and find a nice chest opener. Catch your right wrist and tip yourself up and over towards the left. Bend through your knees, contract. Roll yourself up, find a nice little back bend here. Last time, catch your left wrist, tip yourself up and over towards the right, and then keep this moving. Soften through the knees, find your contraction, roll up. Maybe a small back bend here. And then last time, opposite side, catch your right wrist, tip yourself up and over, and then find this nice contraction through the spine. Bring yourself up, lift your chest towards the sky, and then slowly release. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine, punch your fist down, lift your heart open, and now bend your knees and release yourself, but try to hold on to the bind in your hands if you can. We're coming into a little side-to-side chest opener with this bind. So bend your right knee a little bit deeper and roll your right shoulder over towards your right thigh as you lift your left shoulder up. And then switch sides. You can bend a little bit deeper into your left shoulder and roll your right shoulder up. And we just keep this moving from side to side. You can take this a little slower if that feels better in your body, if you want to linger a little bit longer on one side. Just finding this nice opening through the chest and shoulders. And then slowly release. Let your hands come down. And from here, we're moving all the way down to sit. Lower your seat down to the ground. We're coming into reverse tabletop. Bring your fingertips under your shoulders and then press your hips up. Option to drop your head and open your throat if that feels comfortable. And then slowly lower your hips down to the mat. From here, interlace your fingers so your palms are pointing away from you, and slowly bring yourself down onto your forearms. Now start to shift your hips away from your fists and open through your chest. So this is a really nice chest opener, which you're probably feeling right now, but this is also a great opener for your shoulders. We're gonna be here for a little bit. Maybe try to challenge yourself to open your chest up even more. Send your hips a little further away from your fingertips. Allow your weight to be heavy on your forearms and your elbows. And then slowly come out of this. We're coming once again into that reverse tabletop. So come onto your palms, press your hips up. Option to drop your head again if that feels okay. And then slowly lower your hips down to the mat. From here, we're coming all the way down onto your belly. So any way that you need to get there, flip around. And then tee your arms out to the side. Bend your left elbow, bend your left knee, and roll over towards the right. So we're coming into a belly down spinal twist. Just another way to get into this twist, where we can actually get a little bit deeper into your right chest and shoulder. And now slowly come back to center, and we'll just switch this the opposite direction. So your left hand will extend, bend your right elbow, bend your right knee, and then let your right foot fall back behind you. And now slowly bring yourself back to center. And however you need to, come to lie on your back. Reach your legs long in front of you. Your hands can come down by your side, or maybe you bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And just give yourself these final few moments of breath. With every exhale, allow some sort of tension that you're still holding on to just melt away into the mat. Thanks for joining us today. And that's your flow.